Welcome to Book of Legends. I'm Edward. Today, we turn the pages to remember those remarkable lives that left a deep impact on the world. Their work, passion, and dedication touched countless hearts. As we look back on their journey, we honor their legacy and keep their memories alive for generations to come. Ed Bernard has passed away at the age of 86 in Los Angeles. Though news of his death only surfaced this week, prompting a wave of reflection on his long and steady career. Rather than focusing on fame, Bernard built his reputation on consistency, delivering performances that quietly strengthened every project he joined. He was widely recognized for his role as Joe Styles in Policewoman, where his restrained and thoughtful portrayal brought a sense of realism to the show. His television work extended to notable series like The White Shadow and Hardcastle and McCormick, reinforcing his image as a reliable and compelling character actor. On film, Bernard appeared in Shaft, contributing to a defining moment in American cinema. While rarely in leading roles, his presence added credibility and depth. Bernard's legacy is not defined by spotlight, but by dedication, an actor respected for bringing honesty and quiet strength to every performance. Loretta Swit, born November 4th, 1937, built a career defined by discipline, range, and cultural impact. She's most closely associated with her role as Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan in MASI 1972 to 1983, where she transformed what began as a narrow character into a fully realized figure of authority and emotional depth. Her work earned 2 Emmy Awards and 10 nominations, underscoring both consistency and excellence. Sweet's performance contributed to a broader shift in how women in leadership were depicted on television. Less caricature, more complexity. Her on-screen presence balanced firmness with vulnerability, helping the series maintain credibility across its long run. She also demonstrated versatility beyond her signature role, including early involvement with Cagney and Lacey and stage work such as Same Time Next Year. Outside acting, Sweet was active in animal welfare advocacy, aligning her public profile with sustained charitable efforts. She passed away at 87, leaving a record of professional rigor and measurable influence. Reports of Patrick Muldoon's death at age 57 describe a sudden and tragic incident in Los Angeles, where he was found unresponsive at home following a suspected heart attack. While the circumstances are undeniably shocking, they also bring renewed attention to a career that, though often associated with a specific era, extended well beyond it. Muldoon became a recognizable figure in the 1990s through roles in Melrose Place and Days of Our Lives, productions that defined mainstream television at the time. His appeal was rooted not just in image, but in a screen presence that fits seamlessly into both daytime and primetime formats. He later reached wider film audiences with Starship Troopers, acting alongside Denise Richards. In subsequent years, Muldoon continued working steadily, including involvement in projects like Dirty Hands and development efforts tied to new productions. His career reflects a pattern seen in many actors of his generation: early visibility, followed by sustained, if quieter, industry participation. His passing represents not just personal loss, but the closing of a chapter tied to a distinct period in television culture. Robert Mueller, former director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, has died at the age of 81, closing a career defined less by visibility and more by institutional responsibility. His leadership from 2001 to 2013 spanned two administrations, George W. Bush and Barack Obama, and coincided with a period of sustained national security pressure following the September 11th attacks. Mueller's tenure at the FBI emphasized organizational stability and counterterrorism focus, though it also drew scrutiny over surveillance practices and the expanding scope of federal investigative power. After stepping down, he returned to public service as special counsel, overseeing the Department of Justice inquiry into Russian interference in the 2016 election, an assignment that placed him at the center of political division and public debate. Before his legal career, Mueller served in the United States Marine Corps during the Vietnam War, earning both the Purple Heart and Bronze Star. His legacy is complex, a figure associated with discipline and duty, yet also with contentious moments in modern American governance. The journey of Simon Cowell goes far beyond what people see on television. While many know him for his sharp opinions and global success, his story is rooted in something much deeper and more personal. It's a journey shaped by emotional distance, setbacks, and a constant desire to prove his worth. From feeling unseen as a child to facing failures that could have ended his career, every experience played a role in shaping who he became. What makes his story powerful is not just the success he achieved, but the struggles he overcame along the way. It's a reminder that behind every confident public figure, there is often a quieter story of resilience, growth, and determination. A childhood without warmth? Simon Cowell grew up in a home that looked comfortable from the outside, but emotionally it felt distant and quiet. His mother was graceful and admired, yet she struggled to express affection in a way that made a child feel secure. His father, disciplined and focused on achievement, believed in results more than emotional connection. This created an environment where praise was rare and warmth even rarer. For a young child, those missing words, simple reassurance, encouragement, or affection, can leave a lasting impact. Simon didn't feel fully seen or valued, and that absence slowly shaped how he viewed himself. Instead of growing up with confidence, he developed a quiet need to prove his worth. What's important to understand is that this didn't make him weak. It made him driven. That emotional gap became fuel. Struggles in school and identity school wasn't a place where Simon felt understood either. He wasn't lacking intelligence. He simply didn't connect with the rigid structure of traditional education. He questioned things, resisted authority, and often came across as rebellious. But beneath that behavior was frustration, not defiance. Teachers saw a difficult student, not someone who learned differently. That misunderstanding made him feel even more out of place. When you're constantly labeled as the problem, it's easy to start believing it. He left school with very few qualifications, which only reinforced the idea that he didn't fit into the system. Watching others succeed in conventional ways likely made him feel even more disconnected. But this phase also did something important. It forced him to think differently. Instead of following a standard path, he began to look for his own way forward. Early career and humbling beginnings. Simon's start in the music industry was far from glamorous. He worked in the mailroom at EMI, doing routine tasks that often go unnoticed. Imagine being surrounded by big names and exciting projects, yet feeling invisible yourself. That was his reality. Even with his father's connections, he didn't receive special treatment. He had to start from the bottom, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise. During this time, he wasn't just working, he was observing. He paid attention to how decisions were made, how artists were marketed, and what made certain songs successful. That quiet learning phase became incredibly valuable later on. At one point, he tried to leave, hoping for something better. But the outside world wasn't easy. When he returned, it came with a sense of humility. That experience taught him resilience, the ability to keep going even when things don't work out as planned. Instead of giving up, he adjusted his mindset. He began to understand that success wasn't just about talent. It required patience, awareness, and strategy. Those early struggles didn't hold him back. They prepared him for something bigger, the birth of ambition. Working behind the scenes gave Simon a unique perspective. He realized that the music industry wasn't just about artistic talent. It was also about understanding people. What do they enjoy? What makes them connect with a song or an artist? This realization sparked a shift in his thinking. He no longer wanted to just participate. He wanted influence. His ambition grew stronger, rooted in a desire to be seen and recognized. Every moment of being overlooked added to that drive. Instead of feeling discouraged, he started using these experiences as motivation. He began to believe that if he could understand what people wanted, he could shape success. That idea became the foundation of his career. It wasn't about impressing critics. It was about connecting with audiences. This approach set him apart. While others chased approval from industry insiders, Simon focused on the bigger picture, the public. His ambition wasn't just about success. It was about control, impact, and proving that he belonged in a world that once ignored him. The collapse of everything. When everything Simon had built suddenly fell apart, it wasn't just about losing money. It felt like losing a part of himself. Simon Cowell had already experienced success, so the fall hit even harder. It's one thing to struggle when you've never had much, but losing something you worked for creates a deeper kind of pain. His record label collapsed as trends shifted, and the industry quickly moved on. People who once supported him disappeared, and opportunities became rare. That kind of isolation can make anyone question their worth and direction. For Simon, it forced him to confront uncomfortable truths about his decisions and approach. But instead of letting that moment define him as a failure, he used it as a learning experience. Failure often strips things down to what really matters. It shows you what worked, what didn't, and where you need to grow. In Simon's case, this collapse reshaped his thinking. He stopped chasing short-term success and started focusing on building something more stable and meaningful. It didn't break him. It gave him clarity and pushed him toward a smarter, more grounded path. Rise through the music industry. As Simon applied his new mindset, his career began to rise again. Throughout the 1990s, he focused on signing artists who could connect with audiences, even if they didn't fit traditional expectations. His choices often faced criticism, but they worked. The public responded, and success followed. This phase of his life showed that trusting your understanding can lead to strong results. He built a reputation as someone who knew what would succeed commercially. Financial stability returned, and his position in the industry grew stronger. However, success didn't erase the emotional challenges he had faced. The memories of failure and doubt stayed with him. That's something many people experience. External success doesn't always fix internal struggles. Still, Simon kept moving forward. He used his past experiences as motivation rather than letting them hold him back. His journey during this time highlights the importance of persistence. Even after setbacks, it's possible to rebuild and succeed with the right mindset and approach. Fear of losing everything again. Even when things were going well, Simon couldn't fully relax. The memory of losing everything stayed with him. That kind of experience leaves a mark. It changes how you think about success. Instead of feeling secure, he often felt like everything could disappear again. This fear pushed him to work harder and stay focused, but it also created pressure. It's a complicated balance. Fear can motivate you, but it can also take away your peace of mind. For Simon, it became both a strength and a challenge. He stayed driven, always trying to protect what he had built. But at the same time, it made it harder for him to enjoy his achievements. This part of his story shows how past experiences can shape the present. Success doesn't always bring comfort. It can bring new worries. Still, Simon used that fear as fuel, turning it into determination rather than letting it hold him back. Personal costs of success. Behind the success and recognition, Simon's journey also reflects the quieter, more difficult side of achievement. Success often demands time, energy, and constant focus. And in his case, it came with a heavy schedule and intense pressure. Long working hours, frequent travel, and the responsibility of managing large projects left little room for personal life. Relationships can become strained when work takes priority, and maintaining balance becomes a challenge. For Simon Cowell, this meant that while his professional life was thriving, his personal life required sacrifices. It's a reality many people face. Success in one area can sometimes come at the cost of another. What makes his story relatable is that it highlights an important truth. Achievement is not just about reaching goals, but also about managing what you give up along the way. Over time, this imbalance becomes more noticeable. It raises questions about what truly matters: career success or personal fulfillment. Simon's experience shows that while ambition can drive incredible results, it also needs to be balanced with care for relationships and well-being. Life-changing accidents. Later in life, unexpected accidents forced Simon to slow down and rethink his pace. These weren't just physical setbacks. They were moments that brought clarity. When something affects your health, it naturally shifts your focus. No matter how successful or driven a person is, physical well-being becomes a priority when it's challenged. For Simon Cowell, these experiences served as a wake-up call. They reminded him that life isn't just about constant movement and achievement. Sometimes it's about pausing and taking care of yourself. Recovery requires patience, something that can be difficult for someone used to a fast-paced lifestyle. But it also offers perspective. These moments made him more aware of his limits and the importance of balance. They showed that health is something that cannot be taken for granted. In many ways, these challenges became turning points, not setbacks, but opportunities to reassess priorities. They encouraged a more mindful approach to life, where well-being is just as important as success. Legacy beyond fame. Simon's story is not just about fame or financial success. It's about resilience, adaptability, and learning through experience. Over the years, Simon Cowell faced failures, setbacks, and personal challenges. Yet he continued to move forward. His impact on the entertainment industry is undeniable, especially through shows like The X Factor and Got Talent, which created opportunities for countless individuals. But beyond that, his journey carries a deeper message. It shows that success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it. It's about adapting, growing, and continuing even when things don't go as planned. His legacy is not just the shows he created or the careers he helped launch, but the example he set through persistence. It's a reminder that setbacks are part of the process, not the end of it. That perspective is what makes his story meaningful beyond entertainment. Conclusion: the life of Simon Cowell is a clear example that success is rarely a straight path. It includes moments of doubt, failure, growth, and change. Each stage of his journey, from early struggles to global recognition, offers a lesson about resilience and determination. What stands out most is his ability to keep moving forward, even when things didn't go as planned. His story reminds us that setbacks are not permanent. They are part of the process of growth. It also highlights the importance of balance, self-awareness, and evolving priorities. In the end, success is not just about achievements, but about how those achievements shape who you become.